Again, I would say you don't have to be physically hungry only. You can be hungry in many ways. And I don't think it is fair to say that it is good to be a businessman or an employee, because, as you know, a lot of my employees have become millionaires. Mm-hmm. Some of them have become very, very rich, as a matter of fact. And I'm very proud of that. I'm very, very proud of that. So I would say that, that there is a need in every person to excel in whatever and wherever he is. And he, as you said at the beginning, must love what he is doing. Love can only do one thing. Can ignite your mind to start actually rationalizing and doing the right things to actually achieve. And achievers will always make it. In anything you like. I've seen successful doctors and I've seen failure doctors. I've seen successful businessmen and bad businessmen. I've seen successful employees and bad employees. It is not the job. It's the attitude towards the job that makes it or breaks it. And your attitude should be very simple. You should love it. You know, today I was on the flight coming on Fly Dubai, but business class. just to tell you, I'm not too mean with money. And you know, I was looking at it and I said, there are so many things I can actually do to improve what is being offered. Now, I'm not in this business. But you know, the mere fact that you have an attitude of observations, an attitude of finding a possibility somewhere, an opportunity somewhere, and actually doing something with it that's better. And only people will only buy your service if they need it. Don't ever think that you can. I cannot keep to sell encyclopedias all my life because of pity. I had to become useful to the people that I'm selling them a product.
One of the key questions that has been asked in this forum for the last 18 months, since I've been involved, is that how do you scale from a couple of early success stories to the $1 billion? That steep curve, that trajectory, is something that probably the 0.1% of the people who make it understand, and the rest just struggle with it. Can you help us with that, with some insight?
Well, there is no...
There's a magic formula that everybody wants to hear?
Well, I don't think there are any magic formulas or there is luck. I don't believe in any of that nonsense. But the thing is, and I don't want to tell you that money is not important. Of course, money is important. I mean, you know, we all work for rewards, and of course, money is important because. But I wouldn't rob a bank for money. I'd like to, and I see the bankers now laughing. But I think, you know, there is a great fun in actually making getting the money, making the profits and the money. And therefore, I would say that you should never stop yourself or limit yourself. I always say the largest wall in the world is the wall of China. It has several entrances. Just look for the entrance.
This is part of your achievement. It's a multi-billion-dollar organization. How do you accumulate all of this? In the sense, you know, I'm sorry I'm laboring on that question. It's because a lot of people ask me, well, we should focus. So you've got to focus on one business, which is FP7. And then you've got so many others that keep coming in, and then PR, and then media buying, and also. Why would you diversify so much? And what pushed you into that kind of process? This is not about the business, it's about the thought process.
Very good question. As you know, as a matter of fact, I'm MCN chairman, but my group is known as Promo 7 Holding, and I'm the chairman of the group, and we own businesses almost in several things. I'm in real estate, I'm in hospitality, I'm in manufacturing and industry.
Which is even worse, because not only have you diversified
an industry,
within your space, you've gone
I'm telling you all of this because I want to come to that. And I'm into my personal life, which is antiques, as you said, and collecting, and and my other interests in life, which are plenty, believe me. But the thing is, what made me go into different, if you like, disciplines in our communication marketing business was the simple fact that every time I gave a client a service, I felt that I need to support the service even further. It's like building a story, like building a pyramid, if you like, and every little corner of it requires the support of the other one. So it became natural, and that was as early as 1982 when we took the BMW business for the Middle East. At the time, they were selling 200 cars, and I was an agency with maybe 2 clients only, Cathay Pacific and a small other client, and I went to pitch for the business, and they almost threw me out because I said, I don't agree on your platform. The platform is talking to the mind, and we in the Middle East talk a different language. We're egoistic, we're full of ourselves, and therefore, if you really want to sell BMW, you got to talk to the man. Where is the man? And my first ad that I presented to them, you'll laugh, was, are you man enough to drive it?
Interesting.
And the guy looked at me and said, do you really think we're going to accept that? I said, well, this is my proposal if you want to take this brand further.
Right.
They left me. They said, don't leave. Stay in the corridors outside. I said, but you can talk German. I stayed outside.
And you were daydreaming when you were there.
I was When I came back, they said, we would like you to think further into this and come back to us on it. We will not say whether you got the business. We're not going to award the business to another agency, but we would like you to explore it further, think about it further, and come back to us in a month. To cut the story short, we come back in a month and we got the business. And it was only because I was really sincere and honest to the brand. I mean, to me, at that time, I was hungry. I would have they'd done anything to get the account of BMW. By the way, from 200 cars, we took the brand within 3 years to 2,500 cars. I almost carried those cars on my back. It wasn't a journey of fun, and I wasn't looking at the money. I was looking at the success.
Absolutely. You built many, many brands in your life. What are the memorable ones that you have? Things that you literally built from zero.
Yeah, will always stand up. One of them is a chicken. When I was just started my business in Lebanon, I met a gentleman who died only 2 years ago. His name was Philip Nasrallah, and he told me that I got 60,000 Lebanese lira, and I want to start a business. He's a chemical engineer. He came from the States, and he wanted to start a chicken business. And he said, because I studied in America, I believe in advertising and marketing, so I want to give 50% of that to you and 50% to the brand, developing the brand. This is great. I mean, I'm just starting life. I started my advertising agency printing business cards, doing anything. Just give me anything, I would do it. There was nothing, as you said, yes, I can. Anyway, so we started talking to each other, and I said, you know what? First of all, don't think of a farm, because everybody has a farm. Let us think of creating a brand. And he said, what do you mean? How can you create a brand for a product like a chicken? This is every day. I said, well, let's make our chicken a bit different and sell it maybe for 2%, 3% more, but that will bring us a lot of money. So he started making his calculation, etc. He said, I like the idea. So what shall we do? I said, we will call it lipoul. Lipoul, it means the chicken. French word, because in Lebanon, to do well, you have to be French. Although I don't know French, and I never studied French. So we called it lipoul. And we put a bracelet on the wing, to differentiate it from the other chicken. And we made an ad for television on it. It was if we break it, that's it. He'll be bankrupt and I'll be dead. he will kill me because that's all the money he's got. So we took a bet. And people liked it, enjoyed the story. The story was simply telling them that we are a cleaner chicken. We are just, we're the same chicken but that's everywhere, but we're cleaner. And we have a quality control with him being a chemist, talking about how he controls the quality and etc. People loved the story because all the chickens are the same. Let me pay a few piastres more and get a guaranteed chicken. And that was the promise. Within 6 months, we were approximately 15% of the market. And what was holding us back was the distribution only. It was nothing else but the distribution. Had we had more trucks, anyway, to cut the stock, by the time the war came, he was one of my biggest clients, obviously. And I tell you a story because I became so excited. I wanted now to produce a TV commercial to him that was a bit more imagey, because before it was, just talking to the people. I mean, grilling and I don't know what. So I wanted to make an artistic, creative movie for him, film for him. Not movie, but commercial for him. And he warned me. He said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Well, we need the opinion leaders, and the opinion leaders will trickle all the way down to the people, and we need to lift the image." So we did a TV commercial that was wow. Creatively, probably will get awards everywhere, and we were just. I mean, everybody talked about the creative and the artistic aspect of it. Sales went down by about 15%. And the guy called me, he said, "Come here." He said, "I think you should go back to the roots. You should go back and be hungry. I want you to go back to the poorest area in Lebanon and live there for a week to understand what my consumer wants." Which I did. I went to an area in Lebanon called Karantina, which was the worst part of Beirut. Those who know Beirut or are familiar with it would know what I'm talking about. And actually lived with an Armenian family who had they were 3 late girls and the father and the son, and they put me in a little narrow, and I stayed there for 3. I couldn't take more than 3 days because the smell was killing me. And I went back and I said to him, "You know what, I will pay for this commercial." He said, "No, the idea is not to pay. The idea is to learn." And we have learned. And we went back to the market with an even more populace, if you like. Something that really talks to the people. At the end of the game, you need to talk to the people. You don't know, I don't need to talk to me, he said. And I said to him, I didn't need to talk to Tariq, I need to talk to the people. And it worked. Suddenly, by 75, when the war broke up, we were 70% of the Lebanese chicken market. Anybody who wanted to sell chicken had to come to him first. So that's a brand that I'm very proud of. The other brand, of course, is BMW, because I feel I've done a lot for that brand. I mean, we've made the first ever PR event for them in Morocco. Before that, BMW never thought of the Middle East at all. Dubai wasn't a possibility. In '86, Dubai was still coming up. Bahrain didn't want to do it. They were scared of the if you like, the Zionist press talking about the Arabs and making fun of us, and Egypt, the regulations were bureaucracy was too much. I went to Morocco, they opened all the doors for me, and we made an event there that was actually on the front page of Stern. It was something out of this world. Do I have time? I don't think I have time to talk about it, but the important thing is it was magic.
One of the words that happens when organizations become too large, complacency, too much process, sluggishness, forgetting your roots. How do you keep the FP7 holding and MCN holding fresh, hungry, and ready to keep rolling, as opposed to a big gorilla?
I left MCN in the year 2000. I could have continued. It's a great business, but I knew that this is a young people's business, and I was just getting a bit old and rough. My ideas are not anymore suitable. I am living in a different era, if you like. So I decided to give the business to a president and get out of the business. And the president is Fadi Salama. I think you know him well.
Yes, I do.
It was a challenge between 4 vice presidents that I had at the time, and I had to select one of them at the end of the year. In 1 year, I gave everybody the similar, but he seemed to me, he was leading Saudi Arabia, and he seemed to be the most hungry, if you like, and therefore he took the business. So, and the business has grown tremendously since then. I'm still on the board. If you tell me today the greatest day of my life is pitching, I don't want to be a president. I want to go and pitch. I like to see a client and talk to him about his possibilities, what he can do, where he can go. This is where I feel my roots.
So what do you think about all this digital and new media nonsense?
You know, maybe I left on time. No, maybe I left on time. Maybe I left on time because I'm actually getting applications now from my granddaughter.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I started renewing myself and the other businesses. I woke up and I said, okay, well, I'm not going to sit at home. And I went into the real estate, and I have a very funny story I can tell you about that.
Please do.
We built, I bought a piece of land in Bahrain, and we built on it 3 towers of 980 flats with 5 partners. The land was mine because I selected that, and I knew what that land, and it is a landmark right now. Unfortunately, it is right on the Pearl roundabout, where the roundabout now